More than 6 billion people around the world use smartphones in their daily lives, and this number is expected to continue to rise over time. People use their smartphones to do just about everything, from simple tasks like calls and texts, to confirming reservations or guiding a car. The individual usually spends 5-6 hours of his time using the smartphone without counting the time used to work. They are really useful devices, but their excessive use has bad effects on mental health, as it is suspected of causing cognitive dysfunction and impulsivity, sleep disturbances, and addiction to social communication in adolescence. So what is the solution to avoid these ill effects, and is it reasonable to ask people to give up or limit the use of smartphones? Scientists from the universities of Lancaster, Bath, and Lincoln, Britain, found that the amount of time users spent on their smartphones was not associated with poor mental health in the study, whose results were published in the journal Technology, Mind, Behavior. During the experiment, scientists measured the time spent by a group of users on their phones, and their opinions were surveyed about their physical and mental health, and then they were subjected to tests designed to measure their symptoms of anxiety and depression. According to another study, scientists eventually concluded that the amount of time users spent on their phones did not affect their mental health. Commenting on the results of the study, Heather Shaw from Lancaster University's Department of Psychology said, "We did not find an association between phone use and the emergence of psychological symptoms such as anxiety, depression, and stress, as those who underwent clinical trials and developed these symptoms did not use their devices more than those who spent time longer on it. Instead, the study found that mental health was linked to the fears participants had about their smartphone use." Heather explained this point by saying, "It is important to consider the actual use of the device separately from people's concerns about technology, because the first factor does not show noteworthy relationships in terms of impact on mental health, while the second factor does." According to the science website, The Daily, which specializes in scientific news, the expert in psychology indicated that previous studies focused on the potentially harmful effect of the time users spend on their phones, but their study highlighted that users' attitudes or fears about this issue are what lead to such results. In the previous study, researchers collected data from 600 random people aged 18 years and over and divided them into 3 groups. The first group did not use their smartphones at all for a week, while the second group reduced their smartphone use by an hour per day, and the third group did not change their pattern of smartphone use. The researchers conducted a questionnaire to the participating groups after a month and 4 months after the end of the experiment, asking them about their daily habits such as physical activity, smoking, anxiety, and depression, in order to know the effects of reduced use on their behavior and mental health. The results showed that it is not necessary to completely quit the use of the smartphone to get good results in terms of mental health, as reducing the use will do. Professor Jennifer Katzenstein explained, "The results show that reducing the use of the smartphone by an hour a day for a week reduces the use in the long run. In addition to many positive health effects such as reducing depression and anxiety, increasing physical activity, and overall life satisfaction, the study focused on the amount of time that should be reduced to improve mental health disorders." Katzenstein explained, "These are important findings, as they indicate that there is sufficient time to use the smartphone, and it turns out that the benefits of reducing smartphone use by only 1 hour per day outweigh the benefits of completely abstaining from it, using it, which is certainly better than continuing to overuse it. This rationalization of an hour a day for a week will achieve long-term continuity." People's use of smartphones varies from one individual to another, but practicing self-control and desires is something everyone can do to improve their mental health. Your total long-term use, albeit only for 1 week. Experts also stress the importance of people paying attention to their psychological state and feelings during use, as it is best to stop using the smartphone if it causes you stress, anxiety, or impulsiveness. Certainly, at first, You will feel a kind of emptiness and a desire to browse social networking sites. Experts advise engaging in other activities such as reading, sports, and spending more time with family and friends. These activities help reduce the desire or think about your smartphone. Once you take those screens off your face, you'll notice a big change, and you can see the beauty and joy of the world around you in another way. Cutting out the news and social media could be the missing link to improving your mental health. A small change in our behavior can make a huge positive difference to our mental health and our positive outlook towards our lives in addition to healthy behaviors. In the end, if you liked the video, don't forget to like and share your opinion in the comments.